Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Well, hello. We are live right now on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page and on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel for Miguel and Holly Uncensored, our podcast that we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Make sure to leave us a review wherever you listen, please. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Only a good one, though. That's what he means.
Yes, if it's bad, fuck off. And that's why we say it's uncensored. Sorry.
Like, why bother?
Right.
Why bother? I mean, I know you want to get your negativity out, but go find some other thread to do it. I don't know.
So please give us a rating, a good rating. We appreciate it. Also, really cool, on Wednesday's podcast, we have a very special guest.
Yeah.
It is a new member to the Miguel and Holly show and to the Platypus Posse. It's our new executive producer. We will be introducing you exclusively first to the Platypus Posse. You'll get to meet them before we actually have them on the air.
Yeah.
You'll get to meet them. And of course, we'll do an in-depth, sit-down, Oprah-style interview and find out all of their inner struggles.
Well, hold on a minute.
Their traumas.
Hold on. Oh, okay.
Their backstory, how they came to be here, and there may be tears as well.
Miguel, this person did not agree to any of that.
When they signed up to be our executive producer, that's what you get.
Okay, but I don't know that they knew that it was going to be all like that on Wednesday. I have to cry? Oh, okay.
So I'm sure that you all will give them a warm Platypus Posse, Miguel and Holly fam welcome. I'm super excited. Let's do some quick rundown. Shoutouts. Doe Eyes checking in on Miguel and Holly YouTube. Zinda is on Facebook. Kyle is on YouTube. Melody, Angela, Amy, Francisco, all checking in on Facebook. And then, is that Nomi?
Yes.
Yes, Nomi. On Facebook. So thank you all for checking us out. And Jason. Perfect. Holly, how was your weekend?
I feel like it was Romper Room just now. We're like just going around the room naming names.
Oh, what's that name?
Sclaff LJ?
Ooh, I've never seen you before, I don't think.
No, this is new.
I love
What
it.
did you say? Did you say something to me? What?
I said, how was your weekend? Oh, and Brian says hello as well.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I always feel like I am exhausted after weekends with the children's. It is. I mean, it's great. It's a weekend and I love spending time with my daughter. It just is not like, it's never usually relaxing,
right?
You know? I will say I've made a decision actually about weekends with my daughter. Cause I mean, if you're like Charlotte fam, that I am divorced. I've been divorced since 2015. This is nothing new. My ex-husband and I have an 8-year-old daughter together. And so our deal is, every other weekend she spends with him. So I have every other weekend free, that's like depending on how you look at it and depending on a lot of things can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Like sometimes I just desperately miss her and I'm like, oh man, it's like dad weekend and I'm feeling like intense mom guilt and I feel like I just want to be around her. But sometimes I'm like, Lord, mama need a break.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a good thing or a bad thing. But what I've decided, regardless, and I said this to my boyfriend last night, I don't think I'm going to drink anymore on weekends when I have Maya.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, this could be a good on-air topic too. Let's get into it. Why?
Because a couple things. Mainly, I kind of feel like, what's the point? That's my main thing that I've been feeling the last month or two. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not over here like getting sauced, okay? And maybe that's the thing. Like I don't know how other parents do it. Like other parents with kids at home, I don't know how you do it or handle drinking. Everybody kind of does it differently. So I'm just speaking for myself. I don't like to drink around Maya. I I've done it sometimes. Like if it's a movie night, I may get myself a hard seltzer and I'll pour it in like a tumbler so it doesn't look like I'm drinking it right out of the can. I don't know. Maybe it's because my family really didn't drink around me. Like we weren't a family of big drinkers necessarily. My dad would have beer, and I just figured that was what he did. And my family would like have wine with dinner and stuff, but drinking wasn't like for funsies when I was growing up. So in my head, it means I shouldn't do it around my daughter. And I'm not passing judgment. I just feel like it's a better thing. Unfortunately, I can say, like, I think there were 2 times that I can remember in my life when I was drunk and my daughter was around, and it was horrific and shameful, and I didn't like it. It was like sort of accidental both times because it was a timing issue, and I didn't think she'd be there when she was. Anyway, I really avoid that because I don't like that at all.
Right.
It doesn't make me feel, it's not good for me. I don't like it. So anyway, on weekends that I have her, it's not like I'm drinking around her. It's just that when she goes to bed, then I start drinking. The problem is she's older now and it's summer. So on the weekends when I have her, like, and we still are an early family. We're pretty early to bed just because of my job. Like, I don't know. Again, I can't really compare. I don't know what other kids her age are going to bed, what time. But when she's with me, she's in bed and sleeping on the weekend no later than 9:30.
Right.
So that's when I start drinking. Then I'm like, oh, mama's going to have a seltzer. And then I usually, like my usual weekend night seltzer consumption is like 3 drinks. That's my norm.
Right.
But if I'm not starting until 9:30.
Right. You might as well go to the club. You might as well just go ahead and come on, girl. I'll take you to 316 here in Charlotte.
Right. It's late. And that's the thing is like, it's not like I'm staying up till 1, 2 in the morning. I can't do that anymore. And it's exhausting. And when my boyfriend has a daughter. And so when we have the 2 of them together and they're getting older and the 2 of them have their little tiffs and we got to be the mediators, it's an exhausting weekend. So then we're going to bed at like 11:30 and I'm trying to cram 3 seltzers into 2 hours just so I can like say that I did. It's not like a good time.
Right.
It's like it's like my brain is like, this is your weekend, so you need a drink to relax, and why aren't you getting it in? And then what inevitably happens is if I quickly go through like 2 or 3 seltzers, I don't sleep that well because I'm trying to go to sleep right after drinking, and then I wake up the next day and I don't feel that good.
Right.
And so I just really was thinking about that last night, and I'm like, what am I doing? I think I'm going to make the decision not to drink on the weekends when I have Maya with me because it doesn't seem like it's doing me any good.
Right.
It's not what one might normally drink for: fun, to loosen up, to feel like some, relaxation. It's really not doing any of those things. It's only giving me bad things. And at the end of the day, it's poison.
Zinda said, I feel for you, Holly. I don't share, thankfully, but I understand needing the break from your kids. Zinda also said, I don't really drink around my daughter. It's not just to get drunk, just to have a drink. And there's nothing wrong with having drink around kids, but you do what makes you feel comfortable.
Right. And trust me, let me go back and address that really quick. Like, we'll go, one of our favorite restaurants is a Mexican place, and I get a margarita every time. I love their margaritas. And we always have her with us. So she sees me get like a margarita, but I'm never getting like,
you're like, ooh, I'm gonna pull out my teas at the restaurant after 5 margaritas, and then you're like pouring queso down your throat, and you're just like, Mommy, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. It's okay to have drink, especially that you can show them what responsible drinking looks like. I agree.
Doai said, I rarely drink. When I do, I don't drink to get blackout drunk, just to feel relaxed and silly. I always want to be cognizant of my surroundings, especially with my girls around.
Right.
Amy said, I know the feeling. I miss my son when he's at his dad. He's 12 and goes 5 to 10 days at a time in the summer.
That's rough, isn't it? Like Maya was gone for over the 4th of July holiday. And I was like, after like day 2, I was like, what do I do with myself? What I feel like I should be doing something and I'm not. It was weird.
I remember when I was growing up, when we moved from Atlanta to Denver, and on the summer times, I would go back to Atlanta to stay with my grandma for a couple of months, or like a month, I think. And I think my mom was like, bye, see you later. And I was like, bye, girl, I'm going to be with grandma.
Yeah, I know. I never minded because like my mom was strict, man. My mom was tough. And so when I didn't, like when I was younger, I was very needy, clingy, like latched on. But as I got older and she would just tell me like to do stuff all the time, I always had to be doing something. I always had to like watch how I was feeling and like, is she okay? And I had to like manage her emotions. So anytime I got a chance to like go stay at Donna's house or whatever, I'd be like, bah!
See you later.
But like Maya really loves spending time with me, which blows my mind.
I mean,
sometimes
I'm about to say, just hold on. Those years when
I know that's why I'm trying to hang on to it because pretty soon she's gonna be like, "F you, mom." F you.
Susan said, I really didn't drink much at all until my kids were much older, almost high school. I always felt I needed to be able to get in the car and drive in an emergency. And my kids are grown now, and I stopped during the pandemic and probably won't again, except in rare occasions. And I feel like I've seen a few people that have sort of made that decision where they said, I don't want to drink after the pandemic because I sort of, I had too much. I overindulged during the pandemic, especially if they lived in a place where it was like super lockdown for a super long time, or they worked from home where it'd be like, noon and you're like, well, there's nothing else going on. So I'll guess just go ahead and get a beer. It's fine. Or a seltzer. And so they're like, I'm done. I've sort of gone back and forth with it. Like for the long time when Abe and I got together, it was just like the newness of the relationship. And so like we would have like a lot of wine during the week. I mean, it would be like I'd cook and we'd probably maybe go through like 2 bottles of wine together. And it was like, all right, we got to like pull back from that. That's too much waking up that early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I went through this phase of, because I didn't like seltzers at first when they first came out.
Really?
I did not like seltzers because I also didn't like flavor or sparkling water either. Like I didn't like it, and it tasted like that, and I was like, ugh. And then I don't remember when it was, but I finally had one, and I was like, all right, this isn't so bad. And then I felt like I was like, seltzers are amazing. And like every night.
I was like, don't you love them now?
Oh, absolutely. I love them now. And then it was during the pandemic where I would have like 3 or 4 a night. And then when
seltzers are the perfect like solution though, because I can't drink beer anymore, but it's way less alcohol content than wine and hard liquor, and it just feels light. There's no sugar. There's barely any calories. Like it's not weighing you down. That's my drink.
Right. And it was nice because I never got drunk from them. There's only like once or twice that I felt like I was like tipsy. It was going on a friend's boat when I had gone from like straight from CrossFit to their house to shower, and then we got on the boat and I hadn't eaten anything, and I think I had like maybe 5 seltzers, and I was like, oh, this is seltzer drunk. This is different.
Yeah, it's that bubbly drunk.
That's when I was like in the water in the sandbar, and my friends were like, this is different. Normally you don't get off the boat. Is this what seltzers do to you, girl? And I was like, let's see. Anne Marie said, when I was young, we moved out of state and fly up to see my dad, who I know loved us, but I think we annoyed him. I love my time with my maternal grandparents. I quit drinking the day my dad died.
Sometimes it takes like big lifetime events and it makes you kind of shift your thinking and what you want to put in your body and how you live your life.
Right. I always go back and forth with it.
Drinking?
Yeah. Because I feel like there are some times I think with how much I drink, which I don't get as drunk as I used to back in the day. There are times though when it just creeps up on me and I'm like, oh crap, here we are. But I always think to myself, like, I'm a grown ass 36-year-old man, and seeing me like stumble and slur my words coming out of a club, like, that's not cute.
Not cute.
Like, I got gray hair in my beard. Like, I am somewhat successful in our industry and our job.
Yeah.
So like if someone got me on video, like how does that look? So I'm not to say that, it actually happened on Saturday. But it's not like, remember back in the day, that was like,
Oh, yes. That was the whole thing.
Weekend when we lived in Panama City, and then really like the last half of when we were in Tampa the first time at the other station, like Friday night, Saturday night, I was drunk all the time, all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
And now like we'll wake up Saturday, go do, spin class or CrossFit or something and go to lunch or brunch. And then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done. And then we'll go out. But then usually like around midnight, Abe and I are like, you ready to go home, girl?
Yeah.
Let's go. But then this past weekend, he was out of town. So I went over to my friend's pool party. Oh, remember I told you my friend had the pool party where he was like, last year I was blackout by 4. And I was like, oh dear, let me pace myself. And I took champagne. And so I was like pacing myself. And then we went, I think it was over around like 4. So then I Ubered back home. Well, I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. And then we were getting together to go to a party. I have never slept so hard during a nap. My mom called me around 7:30 Saturday, and she was like, hey. And I was like, what? It's Sunday morning. Why are you calling me so early?
What?
And she was like, it's Saturday evening. And I was like, so I look like that picture of like the cat that just looked like they came from a different dimension. Like I was just so out of it. And I was like, wait. So, and then you have to like think about what did you do? What actions did you go through? And I was like, I could have sworn I slept through the whole night. And then we went out Saturday night, and then I was just like, it was too much.
Yeah,
Just
your body
day drinking
can't.
and then that.
You have to. I'm sorry. You're at the age now where you have to pick what you do.
Yes.
You can't day drink and night drink with a cute nap in between.
Right.
That's not going to cut it. Like you either going to day drink or you're going to night drink. You're not going to do both.
No, you can't, because by the time we got to the bar, or I remember we went to our friend's house for his little gathering. Yeah. And I remember at one point I went to the bathroom, and yes, I do sit down when I pee. And I sat down to pee, and I remember just like closing my eyes and letting my head roll back. And I was like, I probably should just go home. Like, I am tired. But
no.
But then, you didn't. Right. Because like it's new people, new city. And so I'm trying to like make friends and, be there. And so then I like put some water in my face. I'm like, let's go. And by the time we got to the club, I was like, bitch, I am tired.
I'm telling you, you're going to have to choose. Like you said, I'm on the fence. And what you're on the fence about is you can't day drink and night drink anymore in the same day. Like you can't.
No. But thankfully, because I was so tired, I didn't get like super drunk. And then I like became mother hen to some of my friends that were like real drunk. And so they were like off talking to people. And I'm just like going in and checking on everybody to make sure everybody's okay. And then finally went home and then had a long conversation with my Uber driver who is Russian, who just moved here. And I was like, I know it's 2:00 in the morning, but how do you feel about everything happening in Russia with Ukraine?
What? Are you fucking serious? Like he wanted to spend his 2 a.m. talking with some drunk ass about his home country invading the Ukraine.
No, but we had an interesting conversation. He was like,
that's what you think.
Because how like in your mind and your drunk brain, I was like, wow, what an intellectual conversation we're having at 2:00 in the morning. But
in real life, it's like
he probably like couldn't wait to push me out of his car any quicker.
Oh man, okay.
But when I woke up yesterday, I was rough. I did nothing. I left my house once yesterday, and that was they had a fire drill, or there was a smoke somewhere in one of the apartments.
Oh, geez.
And so we all had to like walk down a lot of flights of stairs. So that was the only time I left my house yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Can't do that. So yeah, I'm just changing about that. Like that's not to say that I might not indulge in anything else. But because I can legally,
it's legal in Florida.
Yeah, it is not
here.
Not here. I got to be careful about that and saying that. But yeah, I just don't think it benefits me, and I'm not like, again, I go back to what's the point? So I'm gonna keep my drinking to kid-free weekends in which I can actually enjoy it and have a good time and not feel like, what's the point? So I think that's going to be my new plan.
I like it. I've been trying to not drink during the week because I just don't feel good when I wake up the next morning. On Thursdays, I may have like a glass or two of wine. But otherwise, though, I'm just like, plus I'm just so tired by the end of the night. I'm like, I don't need to drink something.
I know I don't. And like it all kind of ties in with dehydration as well. I really realized a couple months ago, I spent my entire childhood, teen years, and my entire 20s dehydrated.
Oh, girl, she was thirsty.
I was so thirsty. I don't know how I didn't die.
Oh my God.
Like, I really thought about it. And like, I would always be like, oh my God, my hangovers are so terrible. Like, I did have the worst hangovers in college, way worse than any of my friends did. It's probably because I didn't ever drink water. I don't know how I'm alive.
Did you just not know to like drink water?
No, like I know that sounds stupid as fuck.
Well, no, if nobody tells you that, then you don't know.
I had no idea. And also, if someone was like, oh, you should drink some water, I would be like, I should drink some water. That's stupid. Like, I didn't know why they said that. I thought they were joking. I'm like, why does it matter?
You knew so many things, and it's so funny. Like the most basic thing that you need to live and to function as a human being.
Nope. I can't remember a single adult or educational professional who ever explained to me that you have to drink water to live.
Oh, wow.
It's not common sense. I guess it is common sense.
I mean, you know what? It all depends on like the culture that you grew up in. Like girl, when I got to college and learned for the very first time about a protein and a carb, I was like, what? And everyone around me was like, how do you not know that? And I'm like, girl, we had fried chicken, collard greens, and mac and cheese growing up almost every day. Like, and then when I got to high school, I would just eat bologna sandwiches and Doritos all the time. So like, I just never knew. It was never part of the learning process for me growing up. Yeah. But I will say my mom has always been a big water drinker. Like she's always like, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink. And my grandma too, because my grandmother always was on a health kick because she was vegetarian. So like learning about those type of things and about vitamins and stuff like that, my grandmother was very big into. And so she was always like, you better drink some water. You drink some water. Pooh.
No. Oh. Yeah, not one person told me to drink more water ever.
Oh.
And I actually remembered this story from, I was like, I think in 4th grade, and I was sick. I had been sick. I had like a stomach flu or something. I remember being sick a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it was just traumatic when a kid is sick. I probably wasn't sick more than the normal kid, but it just sucks and you remember it. But I was sick, and then I wasn't getting better. Like it had been days, and my mom finally called the doctor and was like, this flu is going on forever. And like, she's lethargic. She is nauseous. And he's like, has she had something to drink? And my mom was like, I don't know, or whatever. And so like the doctor instructed her that I had to drink 8 ounces of fluid every hour for an entire day. Oh. And when my mom told me that, I almost died. I was like, I can't do it. Well, first of all, I would not do water because nobody ever made me drink it. So I thought it tasted like, ugh.
Oh my God.
I hated the taste of water. So she got me these, back in the day, in the 80s or 90s or whatever it was, juice boxes were 8 ounces. Nowadays, they're like 4 or 6. But like juice boxes were 8 ounces. So she's like, you have to drink a juice box every hour.
Oh.
You would have thought it was like some kind of prison torture. I like would take a gingerly sip of it and then be like, I can't. But by the end of the day, my ass was 100% better.
Right.
Like,
you're fine.
And we were like, oh, who knew? Remember how I used to get morning sickness?
Mm-hmm.
Dehydration.
Right. And how many times towards the end of a show when you're like, I don't feel good. And I'll be like, have you had some water?
And I'll be like,
no, I haven't. I'm like,
I literally did not understand about water. Like even when I was pregnant, I thought the only reason you had to drink so much water was just because you had a baby in you. The baby needed it. Like I was 31 years old, y'all. And that's the only reason I did it. Not because I thought it was good for me. I'm like, well, this bitch needs water, so I better drink it. Like, what? not until in 2020 I went to my friend Matt O'Brien to lose weight, and he put me on a whole plan of like diet, like change, lifestyle change. That's why I don't eat wheat anymore. I literally learned, and he's like, and here's how much water you have to drink every day. And would you know, I started feeling like insanely better, and then I realized this ties into literally everything.
Yes.
I never put it together. And kids nowadays, they are different than we were like in the 80s. I just feel like, thank God your mom and your grandma knew. My mom was just like, you have to drink milk at dinner. And that was the only thing she ever told me. Milk does the body good. That's the only liquid I think I ever had in my life. Besides that, and sometimes she would make Kool-Aid.
I'm about to say, we did have Kool-Aid, but
we had Kool-Aid.
I think that's probably why my mom made me drink so much water growing up, is because I would make the Kool-Aid because she didn't drink it. She didn't like sugary stuff. And so I would make the Kool-Aid, and then whenever she wasn't looking, I would like pour more sugar into the Kool-Aid and mix it up. And so like, I remember like a few times my mom did try some, and she was so mad. She was like, you're drinking like this nasty sugar water, and it's so like syrupy.
Yeah.
But I was like, and that's when she was like, you've got to drink more water to balance this out because you are disgusting. This is gross.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was so good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Let's see here. Amy said, I chase fireball shots with water. Lessens the hangover.
Man, yes. And so, my point for this whole dehydration water story was that I can tell if I, like, for example, over 4th of July weekend, I had a seltzer or some form of seltzers for like 3 nights in a row. Because I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I had drinks. By that 3rd day, I was starting to get like kind of yucky in the morning, but I realized it's because all that week I had built up my water intake and then kind of fell off over the weekend. And then by the time, Monday morning rolled around, I hadn't been drinking enough water and I had been drinking too much alcohol, which dehydrates you anyway. So then I was like, where's my water? Here's my big old giant container that my friend Aaron got me. And
And it's so funny because I've been doing it for years. I have my 44. I start my day like this has been empty since 7:30 this morning. Right before we did Blown Off, I drank this whole thing, and then I still have a hard time drinking all of it. So much water. Open up that gullet, girl. I'm trying. It's kind of heavy, so I'm like, okay. Come on, just slip it up. Let's do some more comments before we head out. Zenda said those juice boxes would lead to diabetes. You right. And my mom's just like, whatever, you're drinking something. I'll tell you what, I used to fuck up the little they look like barrels. Hugs. Hugs. Yes, man. When my mom would get those, it was like a celebration, girl. I did love those. Those are the best. The red ones are my favorite, girl. And I remember we were on food stamps for a little bit growing up, and I remember the first of the month when my mom, she would get like the off-brand Doritos and like the off-brand Little Debbie snack cakes. Oh yeah. I would make me the biggest bologna sandwich with cheese, mayo, and mustard. And then I'd put the Doritos on there with my little hugs on the side. Couldn't tell me shit, girl. Oh, it was tasty. Oh, that was the day. Doe, I said, I don't drink water regularly. I didn't drink water regularly until I was pregnant with my oldest. I definitely notice it now when I don't drink enough. Everybody can drink some water today. Get your water. It's like the old me would have thought it was just y'all are just talking nonsense, but it's real. And then she said how to say her name. In me. No, hold on a minute. Wait, I missed it. Scroll up. I have to go find it. It's pronounced Noemi, like you didn't get an Emmy. Oh, Noemi. Noemi. Oh, okay. I love that. That's such a beautiful name. Noemi. She goes, have you got see the circle water bottles? They're amazing. Makes your water taste like juice. I have not. I'll have to Google that. But that's why I'm so into like not hard seltzer, but seltzer waters like LaCroix or Polar. We get whatever's kind of like BOGO because it makes you feel like, ooh, I'm having like a little fancy treat, but it's water. Right. And that's circling back to that conversation. I now love sparkling water. Yes. And I feel so like I'll have that sparkling water. I know. I finally got my person on it too, which is
good and bad, because now he remembers to buy it all the time, but like he's drinking it all the time. And so we're keeping them in business.
Oh, you just digitized. Sorry. You sound like a robot.
I feel like we are keeping seltzers in business.
Oh, no, same. Like Abe goes through so many and I'm like, we need to buy one of those machines that makes it. Because I feel like
but I'm afraid, like, what if it doesn't taste that good and now we have a whole fucking machine?
Well, girl, we spend in, like, every time I go to the store, I have to get 2 12-packs because I got to get him the limoncello and I like the Raz cranberry. So,
I haven't tried that one. I'm afraid.
I love that. And then on the weekends when we're drinking, we do the lime.
I like the limoncello too. I like Polar. In some brands, there are some better flavors or whatnot. I like the Polar Black Cherry. It's really good. I like limoncello and I like key lime. Try LaCroix key lime. It's better than plain lime. It's like creamier.
Oh, I haven't tried that one. Okay.
It's real good.
And then on YouTube, how do you say that, Holland?
Where are we at?
See,
Unknown?
Yes. Is this on the radio? No, it's not on the radio. We would never talk for 30 minutes straight on the radio.
This is the podcast,
This
girl.
is the podcast. Yep. All right. You can always check this out on iHeartRadio app, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Alexa, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please leave us a rating. And
I was going to say, and we have a very exciting podcast Wednesday. Don't forget. Absolutely.
Wednesday, if you can make it here. Let me just check and make sure before I throw this time out there. Oh shit.
What?
We got a bunch of stuff on Wednesday.
Oh, Jesus. Why do we have so much stuff on Wednesday?
30. Let's say 10, because we're doing that interview.
Queen's Fest.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say 10:30. All right. 10:30. Hopefully we'll be done. We have to record something at 10. So we're going to hopefully be done with that by 10:30. We'll go live on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page and on the YouTube channel with our new executive director. Producer. Executive director. Executive producer. All right. We will talk to y'all later. Love you guys. Bye, Platypus Posse. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.